Another Wednesday, and it is another Let's Talk with the Doc. And I know I sound like a scratch record every time I say it, but I am as excited tonight to be on Let's Talk with the Doc as I have ever been because tonight I have one of my favorite people joining me here tonight on Let's Talk with the Doc. I have Minister Nancy Honeyghan-Mullings, and I can't wait to find out her story. I have known her for so many decades, and I don't know her story. So I'm gonna see what her story sounds like when I come back. So stay with me, my friend. When we come back, I'm gonna be talking to Sister Nancy, as we normally call her. ORB Ministry presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right, here we are, and there you are, my friends. Welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. I have Sister Nancy, Pastor Minister Nancy Honeyghan-Mullings, my old long-time friend, and I can't wait to hear her story. Sister Minister Nancy, welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc.
Thank you, Bishop Beckford, and good evening to our listeners. Good evening to your listeners. Thank
I
you so much for having me.
All right. I am so excited to have you. I know you are not
Oh,
in the same
goodness.
mood as I am,
Mhm.
but I am I am so excited to have you. Only God knows how excited I am. Um, uh, I don't know your story, right? But everybody has a story, and everyone's story is unique. I must say that I had a great friend of mine that I've known for 50 plus years. I mean, really, really close friend that we've shared home spaces, ministry spaces, church spaces, and I've never known something about my friend until about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. I had him on my program, and I found out something that I almost broke down to cry on this program. I never know about my friend. So I can't even attempt to think that I know Nancy's story. So if I say Nancy, forgive me because we've known each other that long. So it's not disrespect when I call her Nancy. I might say minister, pastor, whatever. But so journey with me and give me a synopsis into Nancy's story. In other words, like where Nancy was born. We know Westmoreland, maybe. I'm not even sure. That could be a coincidence that I know you in Westmoreland. So you could be born in St. Elizabeth or anywhere. So give me a little bit of insight in where was Nancy born? What's her siblings? I don't know about your siblings, your family dynamics. So give me a little bit of insight into Nancy's story. So let's begin from the beginning.
Well, so I was actually born in White House in Westmoreland.
Also, you're born in White House. All right.
Yes, I was actually born here. I'm really a home girl. I was born one beautiful Saturday morning,
How do you know that?
because I checked out my date of birth very well. So I knew it was a Saturday.
Could you detect what the weather was like back then?
No, I just know that it was the morning when somebody would say me born when my mother gone to market.
Oh, oh, you're born when your mother gone to market.
Yes. So so it was a Saturday morning. Um and I've been here ever since. have not changed my address.
Oh
So I've
my
been
God.
here, yes,
You have not
since,
changed your address from White House,
no, I've not changed my address
but you
since,
changed your location in White House.
yes,
Okay.
somewhat,
All right. So
somewhat.
so give me a little bit more after the beautiful Saturday morning you were born, and tell me a little bit about the family dynamics. How many siblings you got? Where you fall into it? What was the family dynamics like as you grew up?
I better call their names, unless any of them is on and vexed with me. So I have Donna, Dottie, Sonia, Howie, Tara, Billy. I hope I didn't leave out any. Those are the ones I know.
Oh,
My father would say, when we ask him how many children he has, he would say, I don't know, whole heap.
holy.
So
Okay. All right. So
I'm just joining in
it
and
was one of
saying,
those guys. It was one of those guys.
yes,
All right,
yes.
all right, all right.
So
Just a FYI, I've told it to my virgin in church just the other day. I have a sister who is 2 days older than I am, and it's not a back to back twin. It's not like I born 2 days. It's two different mothers, so I can
yeah,
understand the father's story. So
yes. So my parents were living in Kingston most of their lives. They were living in Kingston. So I stayed with my grandmother from a very early age. From when I was a little bit over a year old, I was living with my grandparents. That would be my father's parents.
mhm.
Sorry, I lived with them for all my years until they passed away. I was living with them. I grew up with them in White House. Um, so I had all my upbringing in the White House area.
Where do you fall among the siblings? In the
So
top, in the bottom, in the middle, where?
I would say about the fifth. Donna, that is Sonia, Howie, myself. Yeah, about the fifth one.
Okay.
I am. Yes, and I hope they are listening, and the best looking one of them all too.
All right, I won't argue that. I won't argue that. Period. You and them can trash it out when we finish. But but I could just say that I can just say they have to be really good looking to beat you on that. So I'm gonna just leave it right there, right? So what was it like growing up with your siblings? Uh, Domination, control, resistance. You have some ahead of you, some below you. What was the kind of temperament that Nancy grew up with among
You
her
know,
siblings?
funny enough, I didn't grow with all my siblings. As a matter of fact, it was just two of us, my sister Sonia and myself, who lived with our grandparents. My
Oh, okay.
other siblings lived with my parents, and that is understood because my parents was at the time working in Kingston. So it was for the best that we were living with our grandparents at the time. So we grew up, my sister and I. I think I was the rougher of the two of us. My sister was more, even though she's older than me, I was what they would call the tyrant.
Tyrant, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
of for both of us. Because the truth is, I used to love to fight. I used to love to fight, and I would fight her.
Oh, you
I
fight
would
her.
fight her. Yes, I would fight her, and I would also fight for her.
Mm.
Yes, because she never know how to trace people. She never know how to curse off people and so. I had all the words in my mouth to tell
Oh,
them. So
wow.
I was the feisty one.
Oh,
So,
Lord of
so I
mercy.
wasn't afraid to tell them, to tell them off.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it was friends or foe, I wasn't afraid. So if they messed with her and she talk once me hear, me I go deal with the case.
I hear you. I hear
And I,
you.
and I mean, and we're talking about a child, because that was before I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Yes, so I was pretty young, but I was rough.
No
I was,
nonsense.
yes, and my grandmother was a no nonsense person too, right? She was a person who was very plain, and everybody knew her as Salu. In those days, you never call people sister so and so. You say Salu. She
Salute.
was Salu, and my grandfather was Mas Rupert or Mas Rupert. Yes. So, grew up with them. My grandfather was a fisherman. My grandmother was the housewife. And spent a lot of time at the seaside because he would go to the seaside, to the sea, to fish and come back home. So we go on the seaside to help my grandmother look after the fish and to participate in other things. So it was fun growing up as a little girl here. Didn't have much friends around. Couldn't have friends around because my grandmother did not entertain friends coming over. So in order to have a friend to come to my house, I had to be on my best behavior.
Oh wow.
Yes, I had to be on my best behavior, and I had to give her prior notice
Mm-hmm.
that I was gonna have friends over, and it was just specific persons who could come over my house for us to play. So, um, I didn't really have a lot of friends around at the time. I had friends, but they could not come to my house as such to play
All right.
because, yeah, that was it.
All right, my friends, I'm ready. I'm excited already to have my friend. My friend, I consider her my friend. I don't know if she will say the same thing, but I consider
Yes,
my
I
friend. I know
do.
it's a one-sided friend. I don't know if it's a one-sided friendship, but
We're friends.
but we're friends for so long. My God, it's been so long. You can't believe that we are still at where we are, and it's been so friendship for so long. All right, as you grew up, going to school, what was it like going to school? What the Nancy attitude at school? What can you recall in your school days growing up?
I actually my first school never have a name as such. It wasn't like you say White House Basic School.
Okay, we know those. We know those. We know
We just
those.
know it
Yeah,
as Miss
yeah.
Goody School. So I went to Miss Goody School, which was my basic school.
Okay.
That's where I started out. And funny enough, when I was there, one of the things I used to love to eat was they call it cut cake.
Oh yeah, we know cut cake too.
So I got the name 3 cent cut cake because that was what I would buy every day.
Uh
So this
oh.
this guy always once him see me as a little girl, him always say 3 cent cut cake
Oh
because
wow.
that was the cost for the cut cake, and I was gonna buy my cut cake.
Wow.
So I left there. I went to Crawford Primary, and Crawford is in St. Elizabeth, but it's still close to us. So that's where I spent my primary years. And then I left. And in Crawford, it was again the same kind of attitude because I remember one time I had a fight at school at Crawford, and me and a guy really fight, and me feel like me beat him up,
Yeah.
but then what happened is that he actually tore my blouse. And when I said that my blouse was torn, I know my grandmother was going to beat me.
Oh Lord.
So when I came home and I showed her the blouse and tell her, she said to me, "Say you should have killed him." And I said, "Man, I want to go back to
You
school to
want you want to go back to school to finish killing?
I want to go back to school." But you know what happened? When I get back to school the next day, the guy said to me, say, "In telling police cousin."
Oh oh.
Say me fight him and in police cousin. So I was afraid of police.
Oh Lord have
I had a
mercy.
real fear of police. So when he said that, man,
It took all the drive on and the energy out of you. Like,
yes.
what happened? Does anybody see what happened right here? Oh my God. Oh Lord. I have never seen anything like that. We whisper a prayer for my friend. I don't know what happened there. I'm seeing that they're trying to minister to her. Her son is smiling, so I don't know. It looks, her son is smiling, so I'm gonna take that as not too bad. I'm praying and hoping. Um, Hang in there, my friends. Um, I hope that she feels. I don't know what rushes that happen, but life is funny, right? So let's keep Sister Nancy in her prayers. This was going so good. I've never seen. I thought I was having a dream and what I saw happen there. Hang in there, my friends. Let's see if she gets back in up and sit back at her seat so we can get her back on the camera. Stay right there, my friends. Let me play something to take a break and come right back. This is the book they've been talking about. The 7 churches of Asia Minor, or the 7 churches in Revelation. If you want to know about the letters that Jesus sent to these churches, you gotta get yourself a copy of this book. Scan the QR code to get an ebook or a paperback, and then you can find out a lot more about these churches and the letters Jesus sent to them.
ORB Ministries presents Truth Matters. Join the Truth Matters panel for discussion on issues of the times with host Dr. Orville Beckford Sr. and his panel consisting of Bishop Ishmael Charles, Reverend Joycelyn Barnett, Minister Ava Samuels, Minister Kevin Johnson, Dr. Danette Ming, Bishop Anthony Campbell, and Pastor Shelley Antoni. Nothing is off limits for discussion. Follow ORB Ministries on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be ready for the next hot topic on Truth Matters.
Every Wednesday, 8 p.m., join ORB Ministries on Let's Talk with the Doc, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. There is a story, something to encourage and inspire you. You may even have a life-changing experience. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. Stay connected. Subscribe to ORB Ministries YouTube channel. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Oh my good Lord. This is not good. This is not good. It seems like this, I don't think we're going to be able to get back on tonight live because something had to happen. Something happened. I'm trying to monitor on my other screen, and I don't see progress is being made. I know more attention is coming in to be some help to find out what's happening. I'm gonna have to try to make a call, see if I can find out what's happening. Stay tuned, my friends. Stay connected. If anything turns around, we will come back live. If it doesn't turn around, then I know we're gonna have to get back, my friend, another time. But this is one of those incidents that I've never seen happen right before my eyes. And as you join us, so let's keep Sister Nancy in our prayers, as the devil is a liar and he is a deceiver. Let's just pray because the spirit was so good. She was so into it. All right, my friends, I'm gonna have to close this out. Stay connected. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, TikTok, so you can stay connected to know if I come back live. Hit the bell on the YouTube so you can be connected. If I go back live, you can know. Please do that and stay connected. All right. And by the way, if you have a story you'd like to share, I'd be more than happy to have you on my program. This is not the norm, so you don't have to be afraid, right? We're going to figure out what's happening to Sister Nancy, but we are praying for her. Stay connected. I'm going to have to cut this and try to see if I can make connection to find out how she's doing. All right. I'll see you again. Stay connected.